The story begins in the place like a prison where people are begging for help. They are all helpless, screaming out loud to let them out of there. They say that Bai Qingling is a despicable and shameless demon, and they want to tear him into shreds. Meanwhile, our MC is quietly sitting on his throne. She suddenly wakes up and seems so shocked and incredulous at what is happening. She smiles with an evil smirk and wonders if he has transmigrated into another world. Because of that, he remembers that this world is the game for the final boss scene that he played previously. While looking at himself in the void mirror, he says that he remembers that the villain boss was called something like, while he is remembering, he recalls that this character was the demon lord Qingling. He thinks that he unexpectedly transmigrated into the biggest villain, a playboy and an evildoer pervert. While he is thinking this, he becomes more hyped and excited. But he says that this guy is a vicious character, and he even controls 3 beautiful disciples. He also explains the profile of this character. This demon lord, Qingling, Bai Qingling, is the common final villain from all ending roots in the traditional Chinese-style game, the immortal love. He also deceived his own master and eradicated his own ancestor, and even planned to have his own master tossed into an alchemy furnace, to be refined into a human elixir. To keep the matter of his master's murder secret, he also used forbidden spells to massacre his sect, and only left behind one little junior martial sister. He became a fugitive on the run. At the end of the game, Bai Qingling used his identity as Kangming sect Yulo Temple Master to fight to death with the strongest person of the righteous path, Mu Xinlan. Bai Qingling spent 1,000 years of cultivation and paid a heavy price to barely escape back to the Kangming sect. And right now, Bai Qingling has just painstakingly escaped back to his old den. This is the storyline close to the final ending of him. While thinking all of this, he couldn't imagine it and was so nervous. He says that Demon Lord Qingling at his peak was at the immortalization stage of cultivation, and now he has fallen into such a pathetic state. He remembers clearly that at this point, the Bai Qingling in the original game was going to die soon. He would be poisoned to death by his most trusted 3rd disciple. And now his 3rd disciple was right there, calling him from his room. She asks for permission to get inside, because it's time for his medication. While she is approaching there little by little, he rushes back to his throne to sit. While his 3rd disciple is thinking about what her sister said to her, she says that she must kill their master, and that is their only choice. Once she kills their master, everything will be over. While she is opening the door and going inside the room, our MC's speculation was right. His 3rd disciple will go there, just like in the original game. He says that his 3rd disciple, Sen Shinger, has been instigated to use the opportunity of providing medicine to use the poison pill given by the main male character, Xiao Chen. And while the girl is walking towards him, while he was thinking that he was now Bai Qingling, and Demon Lord Bai Qingling was him, he didn't want to die yet. At the very least, he couldn't let that charming horse main character Xiao Chen enjoy his disciples. While looking serious like this, the system popped up and congratulated him. To be bound with the legendary Great Love system, he was shocked to see it. While he received a beginner quest, he needed to use a Great Love to influence Chen Xinger, his disciple, emotionally, to let go of her resentment and become completely devoted to him. He wondered what was happening and what that Great Love system was, because he thought that Bai Qingling was a demon lord who did all kinds of evil without batting an eye. He said that even if it was a common cheat for a transmigrator, it shouldn't be so ridiculous. Just a moment later, he thought of an idea and said that it was not necessary, because in the original game, developing goodwill from Sen Singer only started after his death. While looking at his disciple, he also said that it meant that even though the story progressed to that stage, she still couldn't bear to let him go. He said that whether the original Bai Qingling liked her or not wasn't important to Chen Xinger. He was so happy about this situation because his brat disciple would be the way of his breakthrough. He decided to take this opportunity and not let it go to waste. He suddenly swayed his left hand to clean his dirty room. Feeling the pressure of her master, she was a bit scared. Well, it was a plan or a tactic of his to make her devoted to him with some psychology trick. But anyway, after she witnessed it, he said to her that she didn't need to be so cautious around him, and asked her to come closer to him. She didn't expect it, and she couldn't believe it, or thought it was her imagination. That his master, who was always above everyone else, had a voice that actually had a hint of warmth. She hurried to bow down to him and pay him some respect, and greet him. While she was telling herself to be brave, she said that there was nothing to be afraid of. She said that her martial brother Xiao Chen used his life to guarantee that his master Bai Qingling's vitality was greatly injured, and as long as he consumed the Void Soul Eater pill, his body would perish and his Tao would disperse. He would not be reincarnated. And now she said to him that the spiritual herb garden that Xinger was responsible for had produced another batch of 100-year-old spiritual herbs, and currently she would present to him the 9 transformation magic pill that he asked for a while ago. He pretended to reply that it was ready so quickly, and asked her if she was really sure that the pill was properly refined. His disciple said that she did not dare to be neglectful, and said that the elder from the blood refining hall refined that pill day and night for almost 2 months, and the pill quality of that pill should be at least 7th grade or above. She requested his master's benevolence. He walked towards her while saying that if it was a 7th grade pill, why was there a 9-colored glow near the entrance of the bottle? He also asked her when she and the blood refining hall were able to refine a 9th grade pill. She suddenly got a bit nervous while explaining that it was the effect of the supplementary ingredients that she added to it. He asked her if it was intentional or accidental, while looking at her seriously. She was so shocked by that and felt his threatening aura. She thought that her master knew about it, and it seemed that he was warning her to tell the truth. But she continued with their plan and said to him that he didn't need to worry. She said that although she had only added supplementary ingredients, it still had the effects of an original 9th grade pill. She also said that if there was any loss in the effect, she was willing to be severely punished. He thought that it was such an eagerness to convince him to consume the pill, and said that his good disciple really wanted him to die quickly. But he said that a person at his most anxious state was when he was at his weakest, and the foreplay must be sufficient. And for that so-called great love to penetrate deep into the soul, he planned to consume it, and pretend or go with the flow. He started to take it and grab it, while she asked him if he was going to take it immediately. It seemed that she felt a bit worried for him. Well, it was my guess. At that time, she remembered the day when his master saved her at his lowest and gave her a path to life. Because of this affection, she changed her mind and said to him that if he was not satisfied, she wanted to take the pill back to the furnace to refine it again for him. And while she was not finishing her words, our MC touched her face, and she became stunned at that moment. But he did this, and asked her why she hated him so much. While he was looking at her like that, he said that why she wanted to kill him so eagerly, and she was shocked about it. But our MC ordered her to come with him. While she was asking him while crying if he didn't believe her, his reply was to keep up and stop and not make more questions. She stood up, wiped her tears, and said that she understood. Now the two of them were walking in the tunnel underground. He was thinking that as he expected, his disciple still didn't have the courage of conviction to go against him. While he was smiling like this, he also said that because of that, he could turn things around as long as he used that to his advantage. Now they were on the blood storage basement level. While seeing the door in front of them, she asked him what it was. He was wondering if that was where Bai Qingling ingested the poisonous elixir, and it was also the place where the origami main character's final attack happened. He said that the game made it seem more peaceful, but it was actually so cruelly designed for seeing it firsthand. He said to her that it was where all the people from the Cyclops clan who lived in the Great Shiwan Mountain in Nanjiang were. They were once deceived by the clan leader, Tuoba Changyu, and he endured such extreme torture that he was better off being dead. He told her that Tuoba Changyu wanted to take away his innate demonic powers. Thankfully, at the last minute, he escaped successfully, and after his demonic art was completed, the first thing he did was to return to the Great Shiwan Mountain, to pay back the hospitality shown by the Cyclops clan to him. While hearing this story of his master, she felt sorry for him. She said that not only her master wanted to take his demonic power, but also the Cyclops clan also plotted against him. She said that anyone who experienced this type of treatment would become ruthless and nonchalant towards the world. And she wondered if his master was always treated that way. But she said that her senior sister already told her about her master's true face. And if she didn't kill him right now, she thought about how many lives would perish by his master's hand. While thinking that, his master said to her that the thing that he wanted her to see was inside. He opened the door, and the two of them walked inside. Now the two of them were there, and there were shadow demonic pearls floating around. She was shocked by those tools and remembered what her sister told her. Shadow demon pearls could monitor a person's every move and provide feedback upon their owner's wish. And those tools were crafted by their master to monitor them ever since they joined him. He said to her that they were not his disciples, but tools on a leash, and he told her to pretend not to know about the existence of those pearls of their master. But now she wondered why his master was showing those things to her. He said to her that she needed to raise her head and look closely. She replied that she understood. The pearls started to show a scene like a projector. It showed her when she was a little girl, crying behind her dead parents' bodies. A bandit heard her and said that she was an annoying brat and started to kill her to shut her up. While the hopeless little girl was going to die, an unknown guy appeared and slayed them with one sway of his hand and approached her. She asked the guy who he actually was. He said that he was Bai Qingling. The little girl asked if he was a god and begged him to help her parents. She knelt down on the ground. He said to her that the gods disregarded mortals and demons didn't abandon the living beings. He asked her to come with him. She asked where. He said to her that he would take her to his home. She saw that and asked him what it was all about. He said to her that he had countless enemies, so his disciples would also naturally become the targets of many people. He said that shadow demon pearls were just one of his tactics for protecting them when they were in danger. She asked him if that meant that the shadow demonic pearls that he crafted were for their purpose and not to monitor them. He replied that as their master, he had deliberately treated them unkindly, and because of that, everyone in the world knew that she and his other disciples had reasons to hate him as their master. He also said that if he accidentally died, all of them would still have a reason to stand on his enemy's side and to keep themselves safe. He also said to her that it would have been best if he could keep that as a secret forever. While hearing all of this from him and his explanation, she was so disappointed in herself and couldn't help but cry. While she was crying, our MC said to her that she had already had the opportunity to decide to kill him, and said that it was not important to him, because as long as she was safe, everything else was not important to him. He was happy to accept his fate. While saying this, his disciple rashly hugged him, and he was so surprised by that. The little girl showed her affection and also admitted her mistake. She said that she was wrong all the time about him, and she also said that she shouldn't have believed what the others said to her. She said that she was a big damn dummy, that should have known it from the start. She said to him that he was the best person in the whole world, and asked for his forgiveness for her mistake. She said that she actually really loved him, and that was how our MC successfully turned the table and got the heart of his disciple. He seemed so happy about the outcome of the plan. If you like this story and want the next part of it, then you must subscribe and like the video for more pervert MC. Just kidding, hope you like the story.